Okay, single leg hip thrust. Now this is my number 2 exercise when building up the glute maximus, building up that booty, as well as targeting a little bit of the glute medius, a little bit of glute minimus, and obviously hamstrings as well. So you'll need a bench if you're working out from home. We will be using potentially your bed or a very firm couch. I've got a dumbbell here as well. I'd rather you start off with just body weight. If that's too easy, use a light dumbbell or a glute brand. If it's too hard, we'll actually do something that's called a B stance. But I'll show you the exercise itself. So setting up, again, you want the bench to be just underneath that kneecap, at the top of the tibia, just so when you are lying down and doing the exercise that you're in a horizontal plane, not going too low and you're going up, or not having the hips too low and you're going too far down. When we're against the bench, we don't want you to be too low. We don't want you to be too high. We want your shoulder blades to be essentially in a very neutral spot, but just really resting on the bench. You can even, for the single leg hip thrust, you can even have your arms up, just to get used to the exercise at first. Leg position is we want this to essentially be your knee to be at a 90 degree angle. We don't want to be too far out or too far forward. It's just going to cause a bit of lower back pain otherwise, or it will move shift the focus onto your hamstrings. We obviously want to be targeting the glutes as much as possible. When it comes to lifting up onto that single leg, we really want to be pushing from the base of your heels. We don't want to be shifting your weight off and pushing off on your toes. We want to really be pushing off on your heels. I'll be pushing off here on my left leg. So what you'll notice on my right leg, when I'm pushing it up into a 90 degree angle, so very neutral position, horizontal. So I'll be coming down and then moving this up. I don't want you to be throwing this all the way back, because when you throw the leg back, your face will be start facing upwards, causing a lot of lower back pain. We want the face to be facing forward. It can be a little bit tucked in when you are doing this particular exercise. We want this leg that's coming up to be very controlled when we're performing the movement. So setting up, coming all the way down, making sure the bum doesn't hit the ground, so you've got constant tension. So 3 seconds down, 1 second up, looking forward, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. It's up to you if you want to have like your foot really tense when you're coming up. Some people like to have it relaxed. If you want to make the exercise a little bit harder, as I said, throw on a little glute band. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. Again, pushing from that heel and making sure you're not throwing the body back. A really great addition is a little barbell. So this is a bit of a big looking barbell, but it's an adjustable one. If you're working out from home as well, you can always use a little weight or like a little backpack. So let me get this set up. And again, controlling that movement down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pushing from the heels and looking forward. If you're noticing you're getting a lot of lower back pain, what I'll get you to do is to actually film yourself on your mobile phone and shoot through an example onto the Facebook group, or shoot me a form check via the Dropbox link that I have in the program itself, and I'll do a form correction for you. If the exercise is getting a little too hard for you, what I'll get you to do, it's called a B stance. So essentially, you're going to have, instead of having this leg come all the way up, we're going to probably keep it on the ground, but we're gonna have 70% of the weight load onto your active leg, and 30% distribution of your weight onto the other leg. So if you notice my legs here, and making sure they're in a 90 degree angle on my actual leg that's just staying on the ground. And this leg, I'll get to have it just place it a little bit further, if you can see that, onto the ground as well. I'll shift legs actually, so I'll use my right leg as the one that's staying in that 90 degree angle. This leg slightly forward. And now I'm working my right. So 1, 2, 3. You can't see it, but this leg, the heel on the ground, that's going to be my working leg. And this is just going to be resting, quote unquote, 30% forward. It's called a B stance. So this way you get to work your way up. So again, this is really just resting on the ground. I'm not using this to lift myself. It's just resting. And same protocols go together. So chin tucked in, looking forward. Scapulars onto your bench. And that is actually hard as well. So if you want to build up to using just the single leg itself, again, any questions, shoot them through to me. We've got this strategically placed a few days later from when you do your actual barbell hip thrust, and that's very deliberate because these exercises themselves, the barbell hip thrust and the single leg hip thrust, are so powerful at growing those glutes because it's in that plane. We want as much muscle recovery between you maxing out on the two exercises as possible, so that way we get maximum glute development, maximum recovery, and we can just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and getting personal best performances week in, week out. So cheers guys, let me know if you have any questions. There are other ways that we can make this a lot harder if you are working out from home. The best bet here is going to be glute bridge. If you have a bag, probably a backpack's more suitable. Just on that hip flexor, 90 degree angle, pushing out from the and really focusing on that glute squeeze and not throwing your head back, head forward, and keeping that tight core as well. So awesome. Shoot through any questions. Let's go on to the next one.